Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. I hope everyone is having a great morning so far. Good start to the week and having a great trading session so far. I have only taken 2 trades so far, a loss and a win. So we are break even at the moment. And the loss was a trade I was not supposed to be in. I chased it, and after I lost, I'm like, what? And then I realized I took a buy at the overnight high. So that was that. So we are currently in the first minute of the high impact news event. So I am sitting out for now. I can't remember the last time I took a trade, but I stopped trading at 8:53 anyway to prepare for the high impact news event. And as you guys know, I don't restart trading with high impact news events until 2 minutes after. And at that moment, I need to see 2 swings and then I can start trading again. That lets me know that I'm trading the actual price action and volume and not just what came because of news. So it just hit 902 and this swing up started at 901 and 58 seconds, so that one doesn't count. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a great morning so far. I actually did not get a whole lot of sleep, so I thought I was going to be pretty cranky, if I'm being honest, but I'm cool for now. For now, at least. Although I did not have my tea this morning yet, so probably when the market slows down a little bit, I'll get some, or maybe I'll just wait until after stream. It doesn't matter. All right, so this is the first swing down. I do have my wrinkles on the charts today. We'll see how that works out. You guys can kind of see how I'm seeing the market at the time. So that's the first swing, that one. So I have to wait for the pullback and then I can start trading again. Probably should have got into that one, but we'll see. Wasn't exactly my setup, so I sat out of that swing down. And it would have just broken even anyway, so cool. Not interested in the reversal up at this point. We just created a new session low. I was gonna say, why is it so dark? The volatility has been pretty decent. Okay. It's a pretty deep pullback, but I'm gonna get in. Gonna break even because buyer pressure just came in. Is my volume off? Okay. Good morning, Trini Born. How are you? You just wanted to know what I'm trading. I'm trading the Nasdaq. That's the only thing that I trade. I don't look at anything else, just the Nasdaq. I used to trade a lot more instruments, but the only instrument at this point that I would even think about trading would probably be the Russell 2000. But I prefer to just trade the Nasdaq. And on the screen you see wrinkles. I don't trade traditional candles. I don't trade tick charts, time-based charts, none of that, only wrinkles. That's the only thing I look at. Oh, okay, yeah, futures. No Forex. This is NinjaTrader. I have traded Forex in the past. Not my zhush. I started off in futures and then I switched to Forex at some point, and then I traded binary options. Then I think I went back to futures, back to Forex, and back to futures one last time. But that was all over the span of like 10 years off and on. So Forex for me, my biggest problem was the manipulation. The broker manipulation was a bit much. I think for the most part, my last straw years and years ago, even before this last time I went back to Forex, my kind of last straw was I was trading on Trader's Way. And I was in a GBP JPY trade, and I was in a buy, as was a lot of us. And out of nowhere, the price just spiked down, stop hunted a whole bunch of people, and then, you know, price went exactly where I thought it would. And when we checked our brokers, our other Forex brokers that we had, and checked their charts, that crazy random push down never ever happened on any other broker. And it was at that moment that I was done. 425. So I did go back to Forex for a short period of time, but just not my thing. Just not my thing. Good morning. I can't pronounce your first name, but Kumar. So this isn't a time frame. I'm trading wrinkles. So this is a 20-in-1 chart, meaning the brick size is 20 and the threshold is 1. So it takes 40 ticks or 10 points for a reversal bar, and then every bar after that, a new bar paints every tick. and then kind of same thing. It needs a 10-point pullback for a reversal. Every bar is 1 tick. I just switched to this Renko size, not this past Thursday, but the Thursday before. So that would have been January 25th. So it's been some getting used to because I used to trade on a 20 and 2 chart, and there are some differences. So really the biggest thing that I've been trying to do is kind of get my strategy together in regards to that. So it's taken me a bit of time. Good morning, Trenches. How are you? I got my Renkos on the screen today. So for those of you all who are just kind of tuning in, I've only taken 2 trades so far today. The first one was a loss. The second one was a win. And that first loss, I actually chased it and didn't even realize I wasn't supposed to be in it. I thought I was missing the trade. So when I say chase, it's not like, oh, I see price moving the way I want to. And no, like it was, everything was within my parameters except the fact that it was a buy at the overnight high. And I wasn't paying attention to that because I kind of had rushed to get on the charts. I woke up a little late. So I was like, oh, I still have a couple of ticks before my stop loss will move to break even. Let's go ahead and get into the trade. And it went about 17 ticks in profit and then reversed on me. And then after I lost it, I'm like, you know, that's when you start analyzing things and you're like, bro, I wasn't even supposed to be in it. So, but at least the next one was a win. So I'm back to break even minus commissions basically. And I think I must have taken a third trade that was a break even actually. Cause let's see. Yeah, so I did take a third trade that was also break even. So yeah. Why do I trade on the 5-second chart? I don't. I just always had the 5-second chart on the screen because that was the closest time frame to my trades, because most of my trades I'm in and out in less than 30 seconds. And you could typically see some of the structure on the 5-second chart. And also when I first started streaming, I was on a totally different Renko setting. So I didn't really want to have the Renkos on my charts every day because I knew at some point I was probably going to change them anyway. So yeah, but I never like took trades based off of the structure that you guys saw on the screen. I was always looking at the Renko charts. So, and also because I know a lot of people don't trade Renkos, I was just like, well, let me just put some kind of time-based chart up because that's what most people trade. But if I put like a 1 minute or a 5 minute, which is what a lot of people scalp off of, it would look like it makes absolutely no sense why I was getting into the trades that I was getting into. So, but I decided at least for today, I'll just go ahead and put the Renkos up. More than likely, I'll just continue to do so. But we'll see. Also because, you know, it kind of helps to prevent the whole giving trading advice and all those things. Welcome, Logo Sue. I hope I pronounced that right. Welcome. Thank you for the sub. But yeah, so that was why. 563. I am looking to sell, but if I see too much buyer pressure come in right after that, I'm gonna break even because we are going back. Yeah, and it just happened because we are going back towards the session low, so I have to be really careful. Especially because I trade with such tight stops. This is probably it just won, and that's okay. Because most of the time when I break even, I would lose the trade if I stayed in. So anytime I'm going back towards the VWAP or new session high or low, or like some kind of support or resistance level. If the opposite pressure comes in, I'm always going to break even because I will lose if I don't, majority of the time. That was a good trade though. What's my A+ setup look like? So I mainly, now that I have the wrinkles on the chart, you'll see, but I mainly just trade pullbacks. I trade pullbacks and then divergence. But I just look for specific patterns with the pullbacks because there's like a difference between if you're trading like, all right, a lower low, lower high type of thing. So if I had a lower high, lower low, lower high, that looks different from like a higher low, lower high kind of thing. So the biggest thing is like I can't trade every reversal that you see on the wrinkles, even if it ends up working out. Just because I do trade with a very tight stop. One of the things I was thinking about this morning is possibly, which I don't really want to do, but possibly increasing my stop loss. But I don't really want to do that only because I've traded like scalping strategies that had a really terrible negative risk to reward ratio. So because I've gotten to the point where my risk to reward is at least even, I kind of want to keep it that way. So, and I don't care about being able to get into every single good setup that I see on the screen. I just care about if the patterns that I'm particularly looking for, if I can get, I would say 10 good setups a day, especially when the volatility is there, then that's all I care about. And you just gotta let the probability fall where it may. We have dropped 166 ticks from where I broke even. So those numbers are pretty small. I'll keep the wrinkles up tomorrow as well. I'll make sure that I increase the size of that so you guys can see, but we've dropped quite a bit. So my stop loss is 24 ticks. My take profit is 24 ticks. When it's 20 ticks in profit, it's going to move my stop loss to break even. So basically, anytime I get into a trade, I want to see 24 bars paint. Really 25 technically, because my entry is 1 tick beyond the close of the reversal bar. So it's been a lot trying to develop this strategy. Trying to tame the Nasdaq is, first of all, you have to be pretty psychotic to even attempt. So call me a psycho. But every week I feel like I am getting closer and closer to where I want things to be, despite having so many red days in a row. It only gets frustrating when you feel like you're closer than you are, but I'm still in the development stages, so I don't expect to be consistently profitable in this moment. And that's okay. Do we have any more news today? Okay, no. We're rejecting off the VWAP. All right, I just created an outside bar right there. That's the other thing I haven't quite looked into. I know I said a couple of weeks ago I was going to start looking at outside bar entries, especially because there are a lot of times when there's something that invalidates my setup and I can't get into it. Like, is that one thing that invalidates it, but then shortly after, an outside bar will paint and the outside bar is my setup as well. So I haven't really felt like backtesting. I've been putting so many hours into backtesting and researching different things that could help my strategy and things like that. I've been doing that for so long at this point that I'm just kind of over backtesting. So yeah, for now, I'm not adding the outside bars. For now, at least. Back break even, you had a short basis under 1760, just got shook out though, being in with too much size. How many contracts were you trading? I've been in a downtrend bias, I think, since no, I'm lying. It was an uptrend bias when the market opened, and around 850 is when I changed to a downtrend bias. But even when my bias changes, I still take trades going the other direction. But I'm in a downtrend bias until 654. So around the same 660 that you were looking at. But at least you're break even. Because that is better than red. And you guys are going to see me put random horizontal lines on the chart. That's just to remind myself not to take a certain, like, if I put that on my chart, I'm likely not going to take the next reversal. So just seeing this big yellow line going across my screen, it just reminds me don't enter, basically. This morning has actually been going by extremely fast, which I'm surprised because typically when I don't get enough sleep, it does not happen that way. I usually feel like things are dragging. Is that price centered? Okay, yes it is. 6 micros. I'm green daily gold on 3 evaluations. Haven't touched the PA. Now it has to get over 17,660 for me to feel comfortable with a long. Yeah, we have the same short bias, pretty much at the same level. I'm like about 6 points, not even 6, about 5 points lower than yours. How many so you're trading 3 evals in how many PAs? Is the market too choppy for you to feel comfortable trading the PA today so far? It's not showing structure enough, I guess. Do it like that. Curious to see if we're gonna see some consolidation here before we move up or continue back down. I'm not interested in this buy. At all. It's freezing. Good morning, Derek. How are you? Thank you for tuning in this morning. You'd be using 2 micro. Okay, understood. Anything within 10 points, basically the same levels in 1 PA, 3 evals. It's too volatile for your PA. It's so crazy how people prefer such different market conditions, because like I know people who scalp on the 1 minute who they hate trending days. Like all they want to see is chop 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 chop. And then I know people who trade on 2 minute charts who they do scalp and they use multiple contracts because they, do the whole scalper and runner type of thing. The choppy markets don't bother me much. I just don't like how I don't have enough setups in the choppy markets, because even though I consider 6-point scalping, because it's the Nasdaq, like if it was any other instrument, I wouldn't consider that scalping, But on the Nasdaq, I feel like 6 points is still scalping, especially because when I get into the trades, especially if it's before 10 o'clock in the morning, Central Standard Time, I'm in and out of trades in like less than 30 seconds. I feel like that's scalping, But some people wouldn't consider 6-point scalping. But I guess because I am looking for 6 points, that's why I don't really like the choppy markets. Like for instance, what was that, last week and the week before, we had a day where we were stuck in the 20-point the overnight high and low, just stuck in that 20-point range. And for a scalper, a 20-point range, the way some people like to scalp in the choppy markets, it's amazing. But for me, it's like this range is 20 points and I'm going for 6. So I don't get a whole lot of setups in those type of markets. This is the consolidation that I just talked about. I was curious to see if we were going to start getting like choppy like that, which I kind of saw that it was probably going to start around like 926, so like over here. So I kind of knew after that first pullback this kind of thing was going to happen. So until it like picks a direction, there's really nothing I could do at this moment, at least. Good morning. Okay, first of all, don't tell me that I have to say thanks, because I would have you not told me that I have to. I wasn't even looking at the chat at the moment, but I would have said thank you. 10 points can be a scalp on the Nasdaq. Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, it's just all based on how people see things, really. Because I definitely think it is, but you know, not everybody thinks that way. All right, we're trying to push out of the consolidation zone that I saw, but not quite. My minor trend just changed back to a downtrend, but it's still not the conditions that I'm looking for just yet. So we do have a double top up there. So hopefully if we kind of pull back and keep going, that we kind of finally push out of this consolidation area. And it's like, this is about 20 points right here. From this line here to the top of the double top. Let's see what we get. All right, that's exactly the breakout I was looking for. Oh no, I almost didn't pay attention to that. So I've talked about this on my stream a couple of times, and even in my recap videos. Now I wasn't gonna take this sale anyway because too much buyer pressure came in. But either way, like, we created a new low here with this lower low, and then we pushed down, tried to break it, but came back above it. So when it came back up and then came back down right after, that's what I call like a rotation. And a lot of times that trade loses, and you could see, now again, I wouldn't have gotten into that one anyway, but you could see it's like having trouble, and it would pretty much lose. It hasn't gotten there yet. Now it just did. And it's just because we failed to like truly break through the low. So same thing here, we created the the double bottom, but it went one tick beyond it. So I wouldn't take any sales coming back towards it because we didn't break through properly. Well, right now I wouldn't take any. These levels are too close together. I don't like it. We have the middle pivot level really close to the VWAP level. Where is this rotation level coming from? It's an outside bar, it doesn't really count. They just pull back and it's creating divergence at my middle level, but the minor level is right in front of it. Like, that reversal bar would touch both of them, and I'm not comfortable with taking that, so. Which I probably should be, actually, but. I haven't really been taking a lot of pullbacks to my middle level lately, so I'm gonna sit out of it. If it wins, that's fine. And if it loses, even better, because I stayed out. Seller pressure came back in. I would have just broken even. Even though I'm in a sale, or I would have been in a sale, because it's divergence, I don't really want to see seller pressure come in until after I would be out of the trade, not during the trade. Because that divergence is created from buyer pressure not being able to hold. So I don't want to see the seller pressure come in. Oh, let me write that in. And that would have just stopped out. Good call on my part. It's a great call. I really don't like the way the market's looking right now. Isn't that the... Oh no. I didn't really like that sale. I would break... Not yet. I would break even there. So it broke even. Cool. We kind of pushed off of this higher low right there. Okay, so it's a pin bar. I just want to see it kind of break out of this area. We've been here too long. Like 7 minutes. Okay, that's better. Yeah, get away from all of that mess. Even though the volatility is here, kind of, sort of, it's still kind of choppy. All right, so we just hit the prior open. That is the dashed green line right there. close that. We've pushed down almost 200 ticks from that trade I stayed out of up there. That would have broken even. I'm looking for a pullback. I can't take the divergence off of the new low at this moment. I am sleepy. $8.38. Let's see. If I get into the sell, as long as the seller pressure stays, I'll stay in the trade. Otherwise, it's gonna have to break even again. All right, it did. We'll see what happens. Whoa. Come on, volatility. You're going the wrong way. It's always dangerous going back towards the new session highs and lows. That better not stop. Oh, wait. I was going to say it better not stop me out to a tick, but it was beyond that. Oh, because my entry was way down there. That would be why. 17. There was a lot of wackiness right there. I was trying to figure out why my stop loss was so far, and it's because my entry was way up there. It's creating divergence, but I don't take this type of divergence off of the new highs and lows. It needs to be a lower low and a lower low, not a higher low and lower low. You got a little something on the PA. Now you can't take a short unless it clears. It can't hold over 17,550, so you're down there. Okay. Good morning. I need to fix this chart over here. Hopefully it doesn't freeze my charts. Okay, it didn't. Cool. So So I'm a little negative, but it would be break even if it wasn't for that first trade I took that I wasn't supposed to take. If it wasn't for this being a new low, I would have definitely taken that buy. That was the only thing that just invalidated it. I don't know if it would have broken even or won. Let me see. It would have won. All right, I'm in a downtrend bias until 608. So we got a little bit of room. All right, no sales. Excuse me. What is the temperature outside? It's freezing. It's 40. Oh, we're supposed to get up to 64 this week. Where is the snow? Usually February is like our snow month. We only had snow a couple of times this winter so far. And it didn't last long either. Oh, 40, but it feels like 35. That makes sense. All right, what are we gonna do here? I don't know where that other line went. Must have deleted it already. What are the trades? What's the last time I took a trade? Oh, the loss at 9:44. Oh, that was a couple minutes ago, but before that it was 9:15. That's why I feel like it's been a long time. Kind of seeing what I've been seeing lately, like most of the volume and volatility is going into creating a new trend, but then it starts chopping right after. So like we went from the downtrend to the uptrend. There's like 8,000 volume in that swing. So let's see if it just starts chopping. We haven't had a lot of snow, but we've had a week of negative. Listen. The good thing is I don't really leave the house. I leave the house like a couple of times, usually about once a week for sure, to go to the grocery store. Outside of that, baby, I be in the house put up, especially in the wintertime. I can't do it. I don't really. I'm not a huge fan of this trade right here. I'm likely gonna stay out of this buy. My major levels up here, and hopefully this just pushes down another candle and it's too much seller pressure and then I don't have to make a decision. Because what is this? Please, market, don't make me decide. I don't want to. You decide for me. And it's not gonna decide for me. It's gonna push up. Yeah, I'm just not gonna. Okay, it came down a little bit. Makes me feel a little bit better about it. And the seller pressure came in immediately, just as I thought. Oh, yeah. Alright, so got the VWAP here. What is the, oh, it's the middle one. Come on, market, give me something. You're giving me nothing. I thought it would be a better day today considering we did have high impact news on a Monday. Because I hate when we have a Monday and there's no news at all. Like not even light impact news. We got nothing. That's when I just know the market is not going to be my friend. What? Who are you talking to? What? I don't even know. We're coming up on the last hour. Do I want to check something? Let me mute that. Interesting. All right. Can we get enough of a push up? I want to clear the prior open first. Make sure my reversal bar doesn't paint over that. And I just realized, let me fix something. Chart. Wait, what was I about to do? Oh. I was about to say, I don't even know why I came in. Status. Uh-oh. Don't freeze my charts for too long. Oh wait, no, don't take that trade. All right. All right, I'm still trying to fix it. That font is too big. Let's go with 20, maybe 22. That's a little better. All right, hopefully the numbers show up a lot bigger now. Oh, you're in Chicago? You're right up the street from me. I'm in St. Louis. One of my closest friends lives in Chicago, and then one of my best friends, he's from Chicago, but he doesn't live there anymore. All right, yeah, that doesn't look too bad. All right, that just got thrown off a little bit, but it'll be fine. All right, we are at 10 o'clock. We have an hour left. Surprised my best friend hasn't caught me today so far. I only received 3 of the 4. Why are they not shipping these people's orders properly? It's driving me insane. Wrong month. Wrong month. Wrong month. 7. Oh yeah, this is way better. I could deal with that. All right, so this is what I talk about when y'all have been seeing the 5-second chart, and I'm like, all right, volatility has slowed down a lot. We've been in this same candle for such and such number of minutes. We've been in this same one candle for like 3 minutes now, and why is my it's like a little lag there. It's always around 10 o'clock that the market starts being really weird. This happened to me last week almost every day. What the hell? And then if I move the chart, my data lag is going to increase. Oh, it didn't that time. Okay. That's so awkward. That's very weird. It's kind of concerning. All right. Can't take a buy because we didn't clear this high right here. Which makes sense. I mean, I'm still in an overall downtrend bias, so the buys not clearing the highs makes sense. But a lot of times when that happens, we're going to start reversing, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get another good trade in this last hour of the market, or last hour of me being in the market. But I can't really take sales because I would be taking sales going back to the prior open, which as you can see is green, so it's a support level for me. That's how I personally interpret it. So yeah. Good morning, Mig. How are you? How are you this morning? Let's see, if I took another short, you would have been wrecked because that 550 area is holding support. Yep. I don't know how my chart is doing this. It's always after 10 o'clock. What is going on with rhythmic at 10 o'clock? I don't understand. You see, every time I move my chart, the data lag spikes. You see how it spiked up to 0.31, 0.07. Like, what are you doing? And I tell y'all, I hate rhythmic with a passion. I do. Because nothing that I deal with rhythmic, I have ever dealt with CQG or Continuum using NinjaTrader for the last 4 years. None of it. No data lag spikes, no lag with the orders, no, none of that, no outages every month. Like, Good, you're hoping for a good week. I hope so too. Good luck to you this week. I'm hoping for a good week good week this week myself. I cannot talk. No, I actually feel really good about this week. So hopefully the market is nice and presents some good opportunities. Even with today being -1 trade basically, it's all from that stupid first trade that I took. That first trade that was the loss. That is why I'm negative right now. I wasn't even supposed to be in it anyway. So, yeah. Just created a double bottom at the prior open. But I didn't want to take it because we didn't clear that high right there. And the seller pressure came in right after the trade. So it would be a break even no matter what. It's back at break even right now. Okay, this is really going to blow me. The lag spike just from me moving my chart is crazy. I hope it doesn't act like this for the next 55 minutes. No bueno. Do I have an extra chart open? So, I mean, that wouldn't matter anyway. It's literally just rhythmic. Yeah, I don't have anything open that shouldn't be, so fix it. My frames aren't dropping, so I know it's not my internet, because otherwise with the lag on here, if it was my internet, I would be getting dropped frames on OBS for the stream. So Rhythmic, whatever you got going on, please stop it. I beg of you. All right, so we are now in an uptrend bias officially. Right? Yes. Cleared 608. I think I only changed biases like twice today, so it makes sense why I don't have a whole lot of trades. It's like Friday. I think Friday was like probably, I think I had like maybe 15 valid setups and my bias changed like 9 times. Let's see, one. Yeah, this is only the second time it's changed, so. All right, we cleared that high. What is, all right. So that double bottom is from a higher low. Now I just really needed to clear the 608 level that changed it from a downtrend to an uptrend for me. Because if this pulls back and rotates over it, I can't take that trade. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot of volume in this one candle. It's like 2,100 out of the 4,000 that it took to push up in this swing. So that's half of the volume of the swing right there. Are we gonna clear it? We're pushing back towards my middle pivot level and a VWAP level. That's the first lower deviation level. Oh, is it because I have YouTube open? It shouldn't be. Let's see, what's my... Oh, that was... Oh, he got out of it. We're still in this candle. Oh, after 10 is like watching paint dry. All right, let me see if I close Chrome. Oh, that shouldn't even be a thing. Wait, let me reopen Chrome and see. Cause it's no way my NinjaTrader charts are lagging because of that. Like it's no way. Okay, no, it was just the stupid after 10 o'clock stupidity. All right, it looks like the lag is stopped. We didn't clear the 608 level properly, so I'm not going to get into that reversal up. Seller pressure came in right away. $21.97 or 79. See if this divergence plays out. No. The buyer pressure came in right away. I don't like that, so it might lose. That's okay. It's okay. Hopefully we push back down to the break even though. That would be nice, but I doubt it. Came in too fast for me to break even properly. It's all good. This is why I'm ready to be done after 10 o'clock. And I'm sick of trading after 10 at this point, if I'm being completely honest. It's just not enough. Usually I have, well, before I started streaming, after 10 o'clock was fine, but I don't know, lately the volatility and volume is just not there after 10, so I'm kind of over it. Yeah, that changed within 1 second. It was no way I could break even in time. Which, because it was going back towards the 608 level, I probably could have stayed out of it, honestly. I don't know. It's what ifs. This reverses, I will get into the buy. The only problem is I do have to... Okay, lag. That's a bit much. Alright, I have to break even because we just hit that stupid pivot level. Hopefully it can hold and just push up. That would be nice. Can you keep pushing, please? I don't want any more break evens today. Of course you're not gonna hold. Of course. Why would I expect you to? Why would I expect you to hold? Come on, bro. Are we for real? We can't be for real. We're for real. You guys, this might be the last time I trade after 10 o'clock. These are all valid setups, so I'm not taking anything I shouldn't be taking. That was only one time today, but come on. Like, everything is setting up properly. It's just not working out the best today. And this is kind of another reason why when I finally get to the stage of PAs and payouts, I don't know if when I continue to add accounts, if I'm going to stick with the 25K. I am for now, just because, I don't know, I feel like it's good to test different sizes to see what you like and don't like. But shit like this is exactly why you need the extra $1,000 in drawdown from the 50K accounts. But yeah, I mean, everything's set up really well, except maybe that first sale, maybe not, but that one definitely, that set up perfect. I just lost. But I do feel like that one I probably should have stayed out of. So 230 down 160. But yeah, at this point, after 10 o'clock, it's looking like I'm just gonna stream for an hour a day. Cause just feel like if I'm gonna rack up more losses after 10, we'll see. I'll play it by ear. I'll see at the end of the week how I feel about it. Because honestly, for me, if I could just trade an hour and a half a day and make whatever money that I want to make and go and live my life, I will absolutely do that. Absolutely would. Matter of fact, I want to look at what after 10 o'clock was like last week. Let's see, break even. Loss, break even, loss. Am I not gonna get filled, bro? Alright, there was no fill there. Order disappeared because it was 20 ticks in profit, so my stop loss would have moved to break even. Alright, yeah, after 10 o'clock, even last week was just trash. Let's see. Maybe stop at 10:30. No, because I'm still within 10:30. Let me grab my other. Grab my other notebook because I remember I did write down somewhere all the trades after 10. Because I was already last week or 2 weeks ago feeling like it's a no for me. Where's my pen? Oh. Yeah, I'm inching closer and closer towards screw after 10 o'clock. Still under the 21 EMA and well under VWAPs to me. Any longs are just hope trades right now. Scalps are possible, but I'll be looking at 3 to 5 point scalps though. Yeah, for me, I can't do 3 to 5 because my risk to reward would be way too negative. I would have to literally change the Rinko size in order to do that because the brick size needs to match however many ticks I'm going for. So I would need to change to the 16-1, which I did talk about last week, but when I looked at the 16-1, it's too much it's too much whipsawing and consolidation that happens. But when the consolidation happens, it's way harder to see than on a 20-1 chart. All right, so I want to see. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. It's really just been the last 2 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I can't take that sale because of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So pretty sure get rid of that. Yeah, it's really just been the last couple weeks because from January 8th to January 26th, so what is that, like 3 weeks? About 3 weeks. After 10 o'clock, there were 28 wins, 7 losses, and 11 break-evens. So, statistically speaking, it's fine. It's just the last couple weeks it hasn't been. So I'll keep watching it. The good thing is I do use a online trade journal that I'm about to start writing in that I'm about to start using again. I just haven't been because with the Rinko size change and just knowing that I'm making changes after that, it kind of made no sense to. But I'm about to start using it again, and so I'll be able to like filter the data to see like how many losses I'm getting after 10 o'clock, how many wins, is it certain setups that are causing me the most problem after 10, because remember at one point I wasn't trading like 4 of my setups after 10 o'clock. So I'll be able to kind of see that kind of data. So in the 3 weeks in January that I did write down the after 10 o'clock trades, it was a profit of like $2,400 just between 10 and 11. So, but like last week was, let's see, Yeah, last week it was 1, 4, and 3. So 1 win, 4 losses, and 3 break evens. And then so far today, let's see, 1 loss, a break even, another loss, so 0, 2, loss, break even, loss, so 0, 2, and 1. Like I said, that first trade was probably on me because it bounced. It was going back towards that 608 level. But even then, it's just last week and this week it's just not been great. But statistically, I should be doing better after 10 o'clock. So, and I'm not trading anything any different. But I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like, what's the point of trading after 10 if the volume slows down so drastically after 10 o'clock? Even though the volume patterns still work, why even put myself through that, you know? But we'll see. Like I said, I'll play it by ear. I'll see how things are by the end of the week. And if I'm just completely fed up, then y'all gonna see me get off of here at 10 instead of 11. Just rejected the 21 EMA on the 5-minute chart. It was so many break evens at the beginning of the session. I kind of had a feeling it's gonna be like this today. Yeah, the volume. I remember Friday was like a really volatile day. By the time I got off the charts, I think the daily volume was at like maybe 460,000 or maybe like 450. But you can see we're only at 340 right now and I only have 30 minutes left. So the biggest thing for me is I want my strategy long term to be able to stand the lower volume and volatility markets and the higher ones. If I have a couple of days here and there that just absolutely suck, like today, that's cool. As long as historically it doesn't end up being that way, you know, because even if you have something that can stand the test of time with different market conditions, you're still not going to be 100%. But like I told you guys, my biggest goal is if I can get my losing days to be less than 250, when I do have losing days, that would be more ideal for me. But I'm not someone who gives myself a daily profit or a daily loss goal or anything like that. I don't stop myself out. If I'm down $500 for the day, I don't stop. I'm just not going to do that because, first of all, you can block your blessings that way. And what I mean is you could be down $200. So let's say, okay, I don't really want to lose a day more than 250, right? I can hit negative 250 for the day and end up getting 6 setups after that all win, and I would have ended up being positive $400 or positive $300. But I just messed that up myself because I stopped myself. And I think that sometimes when people give themselves a daily profit or loss target where they literally get off of the charts, I think that you kind of screw yourself a little bit when you do that because you don't really know your statistical edge and probability because you've stopped yourself. So when market conditions change or volatility changes, volume changes, whatever it is that you pay attention to in your particular strategy, you're sitting here thinking, oh, it's just a bad day, when maybe, just maybe, your strategy could have probably used a couple of extra tweaks, but you didn't know that because you've been stopping yourself when you got to $400 profit today. especially when you know, like, hey, for me, I only trade 8:30 to 11. I don't care what my strategy is like between 11 a.m. and the market close, and between market open and 8:30 a.m. I don't care, because I'm not trading during that time. So any tweaks that I make, anything, it has to be specific for this particular time frame. And had I been now if I stop myself after 10 o'clock, or, at 10 o'clock, that's only going to be because, if statistically speaking, like, let's say, okay, last month, like I said, in that 3-week time span, excuse me, it was 28 wins, 7 losses, and 11 break evens for a profit of almost $2,400, right? If I trade after 10 o'clock this month, and historically this month, it's super negative, because I can't just go based off of last weekend today, right? I have to go on a longer time span, because even with it sucking after 10 o'clock last week should have still been a profitable week, with the, when I add in the minor adjustments that I had to make last week. So what I do at the end of every week is, if I've made any adjustments that week, then I go back and I, like on Saturday or sometimes on Friday night, I will go ahead and write down every single valid trade that happened Monday through Friday during that 8:30 to 11 o'clock period, right? Because now I need to see what would my strategy have done with these adjustments. So even though what you guys saw was negative every day, which it was, because I didn't have those adjustments and I was making bad decisions sometimes too, but I would have been fine last week, even with, I guess, 10 to 11 last week would have been, let's see, if I do minus 116, so I would have been like negative $400 just about from 10 to 11 all last week. But the entire week, it would have been like a almost $1,500 week, even though last week completely sucked. So that's what I want to look at most. If I still am profitable over the course of the week or the month, even though 10 to 11 just sucked that particular week or that particular month, I'm okay. So I'll still trade it, because I have to, because that's just the rules that I have for myself. I can't make decisions based off of emotions. I'm a very, like, I don't want to say anal. I guess I am kind of anal. Like, I have to trade every trade. I have to record every trade in my physical journal, in my online journal, because that's the data that I have to go back and look at to see if any changes need to be made. So hopefully this account can pull itself back together for the rest of the week. But if it doesn't, you guys know how I am. Fresh accounts on Monday. And actually, both of my 50Ks come back on Monday, so that's good. Like I said, I'm still like kind of iffy on how I want to treat these 25Ks moving forward, because like sometimes I'm like, I don't even know if I want to ever pass them. I don't even know if I ever want 25K PAs, especially because, yeah, you have your profit target is double. You only have $1,000 more in drawdown versus the $1,500 to keep it a 1-to-1. But the extra wiggle room is needed, especially with days like this, because technically, like, what do I have? I only have $1,000 in drawdown left on this account already, and it just started, all right, this has to 927. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Depends on how I feel by the time I get to the point of passing an eval. We'll just see what happens. So my only goal when I do finally get to a PA is being able to hit the profit target within those 10 days. 927. Which was at 17,629. So it just went right back above it. What number did I just say out loud? 927. It's gonna push. It has to push now. That's it. Nope. Seller pressure just came in there, but it also was more volume than I wanted. That's why I didn't take that. The divergence is setting up again. How much time I got left? 20 minutes. Too much buyer pressure came in. You jerks. I don't even know where that line went, but I'll just put it there for myself. See how this one plays out. This particular divergence was based on seller pressure, so the buyer pressure came in, so I had to get out. But normally my divergence is, if it's a sell, is based on buyer pressure weakening versus seller pressure just immediately coming in, and it just changed back to it. It just changed back to seller pressure, so we'll see what happens. But I don't really want to re-enter it, so I could have. There's the break-even level, and there's the win. Alright, we got 20 minutes. Text my best friends. the reversal bar to clear that. I don't want it to be near that level. Oh, my back is starting to hurt again. The last 15 minutes. It's gonna be a drag. That trade is gonna win too. I promise it's always the ones that you sit out of. There's too much volume in that for me. It was a pullback to my major level back here, like literally to the tick. It was right at the VWAP. But normally when I get pullbacks that far, I don't want to see so much volume in the push because it's such a deep pullback. All right, I'm going to start writing in my trade journal because I want to get off the chart shortly after the stream ends. That would be nice. I'm already tired. I was up till like 3:30 this morning. I'm hoping my best friend doesn't hit me back for a couple hours so I could take a nap. Sure. 37 TP 6 TP. Yeah, we started off actually decent. It's just after 10 o'clock. I used to only trade crude oil after 10, but I don't trade crude anymore. But last year this time, crude oil was like my bread and butter. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, because even if you remove that invalid trade and the one that I kind of felt like I could stay out of, it was still a negative day no matter what. However, it would have been much less negative. 390. Would have been like 150. So that's what I'm talking about. If the true negative day without the invalid trades and trades that I kind of that one divergence trade that was going back towards that 608 level, I feel like that's a pattern that I've lost on quite a bit, like when the trend changes like that. So the trend will change, have the first pullback, to try to continue the trend, but it'll happen. That first pullback will pull back to that level that changed the bias. And that first divergence trade, even if everything else sets up, I feel like it typically loses. It's not something that I'm going to go back and backtest because it doesn't happen often enough to matter. Or I would have to go back and, like, if I did backtest, I would just go back and look at days where, like, I would just squeeze the charts, see which days, like, the bias is changing often, and just only look at those days, because otherwise it would be a waste of time. But I feel like after months of staring at the same volume patterns and the same structure patterns, I feel like that's one of the patterns that I've been noticing. And I can almost guarantee if I go back into one of my physical trade journals, I probably wrote it down somewhere, like, hey, because I'll write, like, on my cheat sheet. I have a cheat sheet that has, like, all the different setups, and you guys rarely see me look down at it at this point because I know everything off the top of my head. I knew that would eventually get to that point, but I'm pretty sure on one of my old ones I probably wrote down on the divergence section, like, watch out for blah blah blah, or I'll write hit previous bias level question mark, like, is this a thing, kind of thing. So pretty sure I wrote that a time or two, and now it probably just needs to be solidified in my rules. Most of my rules are really easy to remember. It's just I have a cheat sheet because when you're making adjustments every couple of days or every week, it's hard to remember what you adjusted and what you didn't, and what matters still and what doesn't, and vice versa. So pretty sure that was a thing. So I'm gonna make it a permanent thing. And it makes sense, so it's not hard to remember. 6 micros is the most I could trade on the 25K. Anything else, you're not giving yourself enough room. It's 6 micros for 21 points. It's 252. When you backtest your strat, does it win more than 60 to 70% of the time? Yeah. Especially in good weeks. Like, the only problem that I've had in creating this is I do use a form of a zigzag indicator. And so on the back testing, because when I back test, I don't do market replay. That would drive me crazy to sit here and go through 2.5 hours of data in 2.5 hours. Baby, I can't do it. So when I back test, I literally just, put my setup how it is, and I will put 7 days of history on the charts because that is the most accurate for the pivot indicator that I use. And I noticed, like, a couple of months ago that my pivot levels when I was back testing was completely different than the pivot levels in the live data, and that's because on my live charts I was only trading with 5 days of history. But anyway, so I put that number of days of history on the charts, and then I just scroll through and I write down all of the valid setups. Like, when I was creating the strategy, I was just writing down every trade in that particular setup. I put all of that data into Excel, and then I filtered through. Like, I just bolded and put red font of every loss, and that way I could look through each column and see, okay, like, there's a lot of losses in this particular column with this particular variable. Let's look at all the other data to see if I can correlate why these losses are happening with this variable. So, like, a variable would be like, all right, the previous swing here, which you can't see, but it'll be like, all right, the previous swing wicked off of the VWAP and we're going back towards the VWAP. Okay, it lost. Let's see why it lost, kind of thing. But yeah, so even before, like, all the tweaks and stuff, yeah, it was winning about Before the tweaks, it was about 50, I think. But then with the tweaks, it should be like, I would say historically, the win percentage would be about 60% wins, but it's not 40% losses though. So it'll be like 60% wins, about 15 to 20% losses, and then the rest would be break evens. So it's every time I'm making adjustments, it is getting better. It's just while I'm in the process of still making adjustments, you know, you think like, okay, I feel like I've made all the adjustments I need. And then no, there's more that needs to be had because the market conditions are a little bit different this week. But when I do make an adjustment, I do like to go back and look at old data, like from other volatile weeks or other not so volatile weeks, so that I can see like, okay, does this translate well in other markets too? Or was this only a problem because the volatility was low this week? Or was it only a problem because the volatility was high this week? That's also what I look at, because if it averages out to like, okay, there's one setup that I just removed last week, right? Because number one, it doesn't set up that often, and it was losing more often than I would like. So if overall, between all of my different setups of the strategy, if on average I should be winning about 60% of the time, but what's causing a lot of my losses is this one particular setup, I'll just get rid of the setup. It's no big deal. I don't need to have 20 setups in a day. I don't care about that. If I had 5 to 10, but they were quality and, you know, I'm winning the majority of the time, that's all I care about. I don't care about sitting on my hands and not taking a trade for the next 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what the market is giving me, that's what it's giving me. I don't want something where I have to chase the market or, you know, things like that. And I feel like with a lot of scalpers, they're chasing a lot. You know, I just want something that's real solid, straight to the point with the rules. Either this reversal candle sets up something or it doesn't, and I keep it moving. It's kind of another reason why I prefer to trade Rinkos, because everything is so clear in the reversals and everything. But like I said, sometimes I do think to myself like, hey, at some point I might want to increase my stop loss. But then, like I said, a lot of times when it stops me out, I'm going to get stopped out and the reversal pattern is going to come. It's not very often that I get stopped out and it continues in my direction. So if that's the case, it's pointless to increase my stop loss just to help out those couple of trades that I get stopped out on and it continues in the direction, because that's how I came up with the stop loss and even my auto break even when I was back testing. Like with the auto break even, for instance, when I was back testing, when I was writing down all the trades that won, you know, or like, let's say it lost, I would write down like, all right, how many ticks in profit did it go before it reversed back and lost? And so what I noticed was that when I had, at one point, my auto break even was like, I think 16 ticks in profit or something like that. It was breaking even a lot, because when I get into the trades, a lot of times there's so much, because I'm trading on bar sizes where every new bar is a tick, or every tick is a new bar, right? So I was noticing that like, hey, it's coming back and breaking even, but then it goes where I want it to go. So then I basically noticed that anywhere before 20 ticks, it's probably going to come back and hit my break even, right? Which is also a good thing, because if it takes off initially 10 ticks, but then comes back to hit my entry, I can still enter. You know what I mean? So that's how I figured out the auto break even. When it came to the stop loss, I mean, it was the easiest to back test that, because if my bar size is 20 ticks and I'm looking at, you know, the reversal bars, which is what I'm entering on, no matter what part of my setup it is, I'm always entering on a reversal bar. I could just quickly look to see like, okay, how many ticks outside of this reversal bar did the price come back to before it continued in the direction? And usually if it came more than 3 ticks beyond it, it was just going to lose anyway. The only time it would go like further, beyond the 4 ticks or 3 ticks and continue in the direction is if it was just creating an outside bar, which I kind of figured out how to avoid those trades where it would be the initial loss, which is why I said that I wanted to look into outside bar entries, because if that initial reversal bar is invalid because, hey, it wasn't enough volume going back towards the VWAP, or we're at a support or resistance level, whatever, then I would be able to enter on the outside bar. But I haven't gotten to that point yet because I don't want to backtest outside bars right now. But yeah, it's something you want to watch this week. If after 11 the market makes a clear trend in one direction, there's this let me see if I can find it real quick because I'm about to get off in a second. So there's this article that I have saved, and it talks about common intraday stock market patterns. It's on thebalancemoney.com. So I'm pretty sure if you Google thebalancemoney.com and type in common intraday stock market patterns, you'll see it is from October of 2021. But it talked about the common tendencies of the market based on time, right? So I'll just like briefly read it, and this is kind of why I always wanted to stop trading at 11 or 10, really 10, but I just increased it to 11 because when I was back testing, my data showed that I could. So it says, 8:30 a.m. stock market opens. There's an initial push in one direction. May take a couple minutes to get going. 8:45 in the morning Central Standard Time. The initial push often sees a significant reversal or pullback. This is often just a short-term shift, and then the original trending direction reasserts itself. At 9 a.m., if the trend that began at 8:30 a.m. is still in play, it will often be challenged around this time. This tends to be another time where there is a significant reversal or pullback. 10:15 to 10:30 a.m., the market is heading into the lunch hour, and London is getting ready to close. This is when volatility will typically die out for a couple of hours, but often the daily high or low will be tested around this time. European traders usually close out positions or accumulate a position before they finish for the day. Whether the highs or lows are tested or not, the market tends to drift for the next hour or more. So that starts at 10:15 our time, right? Which is why I don't like trading after 10. 10:45 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. This is lunchtime in New York, plus a bit of a time buffer. Usually this is the quietest time of the day, and often day traders like to avoid it. 12:30 to 1 p.m. If the lunch hour was calm, then expect a breakout of the range established during the lunch hour. Often the market will try to move in the direction it was trading in before the lunch hour doldrums set in. Then it's two more time frames that it sets. It says 1 to 1:45. The close is getting closer. Many traders are trading with the trend, thinking it will continue into the close. That may happen, but expect some sharp reversals around this time, because on the flip side, many traders are quicker to take profits or move their trailing stops closer to the current price. 2 to 2:30. These are the big shakeout points, in that they will force many traders out of their positions. If a reversal of the prior trend occurs around this time, then the price is likely to move very strong in the opposite direction. Even if the prior trend does sustain itself through these periods, expect some quick and sizable counter trend moves. So when I first read this article, this was after I was like, yo, I don't really like trading after a certain time. And this was before I even had a strategy that was volume based, where I was even paying attention to volume. I just noticed what I was seeing on the charts, right? And so, like I said, the only thing that I used to actually like trading after 10 o'clock was crude oil. Aside from that, I did not want to trade anything else. So when I read this, I was like, all right, so it's telling me 10:15 to 10:30 the market's heading into lunch hour. So why am I trading at that time? If volatility is going to die out, what's the point? Because I need volatility and I need the volume. So like I said, though, I don't want to stop just yet, because if between the last couple of days, like, it has been pretty trash. It's like probably negative about $700 at this point between Friday or last week and today after 10 o'clock. Yeah, but if in the 3 weeks that I looked at in January that I actually wrote down, it was a profit of $2,400, do I get rid of the $2,400 profit in January from 10 to 11 just because it sucked last week and today? I don't know yet. But if it's something where statistically, like, and historically, I'm going to have a problem over time, like if from 10 to 11 for the entire year is trash, I'll just take it out. I'll forfeit that $2,400 that it made or more in January if statistically it's going to average out to not winning very often. And then I get an hour of my life back anyway. So it would be a win-win. But for now, I'll just keep it, and I'll keep looking at the data over time. Because like I said in my online trade journal, I can actually filter through. I can filter through based on the hour of the day, setup, and all of that stuff. So I'll just see what happens. So not that great of a day today, but it could have been better. Just 2 of the losses really could have been prevented. Everything else was valid. And even the one trade was valid, technically speaking. But like I said, it's a pattern that I'm pretty sure I've been noticing that loses quite often. So we'll just get rid of that. So even then, it would have still been a negative day, and it is what it is. So I'll definitely make sure that I put out the daily recap video tonight. So you guys can look out for that. For now, it's going to keep coming out around 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you guys will be able to see the trades that I took before I got on the stream, and then you guys will be able to see the balances of the account and the trailing drawdown. So I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys had a great session so far, and I hope you continue to have a great session. If you're negative, I hope you become positive before you get off the charts. Don't end the day like me. But thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of your day.